What if I told you the greatest enemy you'll ever face is already inside you? Not a monster, not your boss, not even that person who broke your heart. It's the quiet voice in your head whispering, "You're not enough. You'll mess this up. Why even try?" And the worst part, you've been listening for years. You smile, you function, you nod in conversations. But behind closed doors, you stall your dreams, ruin relationships, and stay exactly where you are, trapped, not by circumstance, but by a silent pattern of self-destruction you don't even realize is happening. Today, we're going to confront that, together, the invisible blueprint of self-sabotage. You weren't born to destroy yourself, but somewhere along the line, you started learning how. You didn't raise your hand and say, "Yes, I'd like to procrastinate until my opportunities are gone. Yes, I'd love to be addicted to validation and fear change." No, you adapted to survive, to be accepted, to not feel alone. Psychologists call this self-sabotage, the act of undermining your own success, happiness, or progress, often unconsciously. But this isn't just psychology. This is deeply human, and it's ancient. Thousands of years ago, Plato described a human soul torn by two horses, one noble and disciplined, the other wild and impulsive. And the charioteer, you, is constantly struggling to keep them in balance. But most of us let go of the reins, and the wild horse runs free, dragging us toward chaos we mistake for freedom. You've been here before, the loops we live in. Have you ever noticed this? You say you want to change, but you don't. You get close to success, then sabotage it. You meet someone amazing, then push them away. This is no accident. You're not lazy. You're not broken. You're protecting yourself from what you think will hurt. Dietrich Bonhoeffer, the German theologian who stood against the Nazis, once said, "Stupidity is not an intellectual defect. It's a moral one." He wasn't talking about IQ. He was warning us about willful blindness, the kind that ignores truth because truth demands change. And deep down, change terrifies us. Because who will we be if we're no longer hiding behind fear, the comfort of our own prison? You've made friends with your suffering. That voice that says, "You'll never make it," you've let it become your inner compass. Because it's familiar, and familiar feels safe, even when it's killing you. This is the paradox Nietzsche spoke of. Man does not strive for happiness, only for power, the power to stay the same. The ego doesn't care if you're miserable. It only cares that you're predictable. So, when you dare to grow, it panics. It whispers, "Don't do this. This isn't you. You're going to lose everything." And so you return to the same habits, the same patterns, the same you, the story of the stonecutter. Let me tell you a story. A poor stonecutter once wished to be powerful. He envied the rich man, so he became the rich man. But then he envied the prince, so he became the prince. But the prince feared the sun, so he became the sun. Then the sun was blocked by a cloud, so he became the cloud. Then the wind blew the cloud away, so he became the wind. But the wind could not move the mountain, so he became the mountain. And then one day, a poor stone cutter chipped away at him. The story ends where it began, but everything has changed. The truth is, no identity will ever be enough if you don't know who you really are. And no success will feel safe if you secretly believe you don't deserve it. When the mirror doesn't lie, it's easy to talk about society, the government, your past, your parents, even trauma. But there comes a point where all the mirrors break and the only reflection left is yours. You see, Machiavelli understood something disturbing. People will choose the lie, if the truth threatens their illusion of control. So we become loyal to our own dysfunction. We lie to ourselves. We stay in broken relationships. We waste our talents. And we keep scrolling, numb and hollow. Just enough distraction to avoid asking, what am I doing with my life? The false gods. We worship comfort. We kneel at the altar of productivity. We sacrifice meaning for dopamine. And we wonder why we feel empty. Seneca warned us long ago, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. You waste it every time you doubt your voice. You waste it every time you betray your values to fit in. You waste it when you love others more than you respect yourself. You weren't meant to live like this. You weren't born to break yourself down day by day. You were meant to create, to risk, to love fiercely, and to stand in the fire of your own truth. The hidden cost of playing small. Here's the truth no one wants to admit. Self-sabotage is selfish. Yes, selfish. Because every time you silence your potential, you withhold the gift you were meant to give others. The world never hears your ideas. Your family never sees your strength. The people you could have helped never meet you. You think you're playing it safe, but you're robbing the world of you. You are not just hurting yourself. You are hurting every life your courage could have touched. The real enemy was never failure. You're not afraid to fail. You've failed 1,000 times already and survived. You're afraid that if you try and still fall short, you'll prove the voice in your head right. But hear me. It's better to fall and bleed in truth than to rot in the comfort of lies. You don't need permission to outgrow who you've been. This is where it begins, not tomorrow, not next year, now. You stop self-sabotaging by doing something radical. You choose yourself, again and again and again, even when it's uncomfortable, even when your hands shake, even when no one claps for you. Because if you don't, you'll look back one day and wonder, how many versions of myself did I bury alive just to be liked? And that is a grief no one prepares you for. The final question. So, I'll leave you with this. If the person you were before the fear could see who you are today, would they be proud, or would they beg you to fight? The choice is yours, but make no mistake, your life depends on it. Choose, before the silence becomes permanent, before the regret becomes unbearable, before your potential becomes a ghost, because the most tragic story ever told is the one where the hero never woke up. If this message found you at the right time, don't scroll past it. Share it, rewatch it, let it break you, let it rebuild you. Subscribe for more truth, because the world doesn't need another influencer. It needs you, awake, alive, and finally free.